Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Standard 9 English. Today we are going to learn a lilting and haunting poem, Rain on the Roof by Coach Skinny. This is the picture of the poet Coach Skinny. First we learn about the poet. Coach Skinny, born on 24 November 1826, Penn Yan, New York, United States, was a man who had a full life. During the 19th century, he was at various times a wistful and skillful poet, a politician filing the role of senator in the state of Ohio for 2 years, a lawyer in Cincinnati, and a journalist on several publications and newspapers. He served in the U.S. Army during the American Civil War as a commissioned officer, achieving the rank of the lieutenant colonel in the appointment of paymaster. Finally, he held several school teaching posts. Throughout of all this, though he made the time to write poetry, he had 2 collections published, You and Other Poems in 1855 and Relics of the Ideal and the Real in 1888. One of his most famous poems, written in 1849, was The Rain on the Roof. It could be said that this poem established the name of Coach Skinny as a popular poet. He died on 25 January 1904, Ohio, United States. Now about the poem. Rain on the Roof by Coach Skinny is a poem lauding the healing power of rain, especially when heard from a cozy bed in a lovely cottage. It is a poem that it is also about the poet's memories of his childhood. At night, when dark clouds cover the sky and it rains gently, then the poet lies in his cozy bed listening to the sound of the gentle rain on the top of his house. He remembered his mother smiling down at him and his siblings who gave him immense solace and pleasure. The patter of the rain stirs in him fond memories of his mother in all gentle loveliness. Now we'll move on to the poem. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. The poet is saying that when the humid shadows hover, your humid shadow refers to dark clouds which are full of water. The poet says that when the sky is full of these clouds which are moisture laden, are full of water and are about to bring rain, when such clouds hover, which means move around or move about in the sky over all the starry spheres, they refers to the sky at night time which is full of stars. At that time, huge clouds which are full of moisture around the sky, and the darkness of the night is wiped off by the raindrops, which seems like tears falling from the sky. The poet is comparing raindrops to tears as he says that the dark sky, which seemed to be very sad, it appears as if it is crying, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. He adds that it is like a blessing to lie on the bed in his room. Cottage chamber means bedroom, and listen to the sound made by the raindrops falling on the roof. So these are the glossary of lines 1 to 8. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their ad threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the raindrops falling off the rooftop of his house. He says that every tinkle, which means short light ringing sound on the shingles, that is rectangular wooden tiles used on the roof, has an echo, that is repeated sound in his heart. Whenever he hears rain falling on the rooftop, the sound repeats in his heart and his dreams. He has many different fanciful imagination. He adds that this sound of rain falling on the rooftop creates many new different dreams in his mind. He recollects many memories of the past which come back into it in his mind as dreams. So he says that as he listened to the patter of the rain upon the roof, he has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past come back in the form of dreams. But they are not discrete, they are not disconnected or separated from each other. Instead, all of his memories seem to have formed a patchwork by becoming entwined with one another. And these are the glossary of from lines 9 to 16. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, as I list to this refrain which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Here the poet introduces his mother. He says that he is dreaming of his mother. As he had told in the previous stanza that rain brings memory of the past. So it is the memory of his mother who is no longer alive. So in the past, she loved him a lot. She used to consider him a darling and she would let him sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. The poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. So the sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present. That is why the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room. Whenever he hears this sound, it brings back memories of the past and he is reminded of his mother. And these are the glossary of lines from 17 to 24. And that is the end of the poem. And now we'll move on to the poetic devices. Alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of sounds in a sequence of words. It lends a lyrical or musical element to a poem. So examples are: over all the starry spheres. Here S and R sounds are used repeatedly. What a bliss to press the pillow. And here S and P sounds are used repeatedly. In busy being start, here B sound is repeated. Now in memory comes my mother. Here M sound is repeated. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. Here F sound is repeated. Personification. Personification is a literary device in which human traits are attributed to inanimate things or birds, beasts, and trees such that they seem to be living beings. For example, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Here the poet personifies darkness, who is presented to be in a melancholy mood and shed tears in the form of raindrops. Next, and 1,000 recollections weave their air thread into woof. So here recollections are personified here as they are shown to be weaving cloth with threads of air. Next, transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is a poetic device in which an adjective is used not with a noun which is qualified, but it's with some other noun. Example, melancholy darkness. Here it is not the darkness that is sad, but some human beings who are sad in the darkness. Next, dreamy fancies. Here fancies are not lost in dreams, but it is the human beings who dream. Next, onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, sometimes called as echoism, is a figure of speech in which words imitate the sound or sounds they describe. In other words, the sound an onomatopoeic word produces is the meaning it intends to convey, like a bang, pop, hiss, etc. are some onomatopoeic words. So, example from the poem: patter imitates the sound the raindrops make as they land on the surface of the roof tiles. Tinkle imitates the gentle and clear musical sound that a droplet make. Next, imagery. Imagery is using vivid and expressive language to evoke pictures or feelings. Examples are melancholy darkness, rainy tears, and starry spheres. Next, repetition. Repetition in poetry is multiple uses of a word, phrase, sound or stanza. Example are listening to the patter and listen to the patter. So this particular line is repeated in lines 7 and 15. And the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. And that is the end of the poem. Watch it again for the better understanding. Thank you.